1 2 1 2. What's a podcast? 1 2 1 2. What's a podcast? Episode 125. We are back. We're living in a Jadakiss world now.
Aha!
We'll keep trying.
Stupid.
We're gonna keep trying. Listen, man. Episode 125. Jerome Baker III. I'm in the building. Shout out to my guy. Always available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddy.
What's up, fellas?
And don't charge Abdul.
Aha!
I think at this point, obviously, we need to get right to it. Obviously, we hear the.
Oh, we're going right into it?
I mean, we think we have to.
At this point, what's the point of waiting? We pretty much didn't record last night because
We'll just do the recap afterwards, our weekly catching up shit. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
First
so
things
basically, we're recording Wednesday, which means last night the Locks versus Diplomats
Jada versus Diplomats
versus took place, and basically it was a clean sweep, pretty much for the
Before
most part.
before we get into that, and who did you have before? Who were you rooting for?
The Locks.
You were rooting for the Locks?
Yes.
Eddie?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know which way to go. I know they both got, you know what I'm saying, bangers. I just thought it was going to be I didn't think it was going to be a landslide. I just thought it was going to be like a good show.
But you didn't have a dog in the race. You didn't give a fuck? Or?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
I was favoring the Locks.
I think anybody who's a little bit older, you know what I'm saying. So like, mind you, Cameron and the Locks are pretty much the same age, mid-40s, right?
Yeah. They're the same age.
But I think their impact hit the scene a few years differently.
Yes.
So even though Cam was out in the mid to late 90s, which is when the Locks were out, the Diplomats didn't really hit till like 01, 02, right?
Not only that, but Locks had started early because, they were in with Big in the early 90s.
But that's what I'm saying. So the Locks were on the scene, really a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years earlier than when the Dipset actually hit the scene, right?
Yeah.
And so, the energy and the swagger between the two groups was just completely different. As I've stated over at least 25 different group chats and DMs or whatever, the Locks are just professionals. We got a lock show last night. We didn't get like a just randomly thrown together set.
No.
That was a well orchestrated. Obviously they included the elements of where they were, time and place, but that particular performance by the Locks was stellar. And I mean, Jadakiss, he even said it himself. I think he said, "I'm the transmission." Something like that. Like everybody kind of knew he was the captain of the ship last night.
Yeah, he was definitely steering the ship.
I think the biggest difference between the two cliques was chemistry, right? Like, I mean, you could tell the Locks spent time together. It looks like they actually even fuck with each other. They're friends in real life, brothers, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I was getting texts before the shit even started. It was super delayed. I was getting texts from people in there that kind of know what was happening. Cam had already bounced. There was some internal beef happening, and he had dipped.
Oh, he was beefing with Dipset.
Yeah, it was some internal, static between the crew, and he had bounced, and they were like, yo, Cam just left. I don't even know if this show is even going to happen. Next thing you know, 10 minutes later, they announce everybody to come on stage. The Locks come up, all three of them, screaming, hollering. They're ready for action. Called the DipSet. They didn't even show up, actually, for like the first 2 minutes. Eventually, Cam and Jewels and Freaky Zeke showed up with no Cam. You remember that?
You mean Jim Jewels?
Sorry, Jim Jewels and Freaky Zeke showed up, no Cam. Eventually, Cam showed up and just kind of sat down on the beach chair. He wanted no parts of it. He wasn't singing. He wasn't participating. And you know what really, I think, got him to get up and start singing? They were getting clowned. The Locks were not.
Absolutely.
They were taking no prisoners, dog. They came ready for action. They were clowning Cam. They were.
He might have known
at him.
that. He might not have wanted to come on because he knew that.
I don't think so. I think I'm not really sure why the beef is still going on, man. You guys, I don't know. It just seems kind of petty.
Who's his beef with?
Who knows? I don't even know if it's a beef or if it's just some small or some discrepancies, but you could tell that there was no chemistry between the four of those guys yesterday.
At all.
You know what I mean? Everybody was later on. It kind of gelled together.
Towards the end when they were getting bodied,
it was already too late though.
Yeah.
It was already too late. They'd already got killed.
Yeah.
Song selection, the first 2 songs, that's what y'all open up with?
Horrible.
Come on.
Well, I think what you have to realize too is like
Hug the Block, if you were going to start off, could have been a good opener.
Nah, they don't hang out together. They're
No,
not
they
really
don't.
with
You
each
can
other.
tell.
You
Yeah.
can tell. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something
yeah.
like this, you know what I'm saying? You can't fly up the day before. No, you need to be in New York City 2 weeks before performing, pretty
Yeah.
much preparing for what the Locks are going to do, because the Locks came out, Cam had his jokes. First thing Jada's kid says, you know, Jada's pushing the New York narrative very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
He says to Cam, you live in Miami.
No
and
bullshit.
then, and then proceeds to drop F you by the Locks. And
Yo, they
when
would
that-
not play it.
when that starts off the battle,
Yeah.
It's already over.
it's already
Yeah.
over for the
Yeah,
most
Yeah.
It's
part.
already over.
And the only thing that I'll say about the Locks is that we can't do 3 verses. We can't do like 4 minutes of every song, right? Like the impact gets lost. We get it from a certain extent.
I think they were doing pretty good, though. It wasn't like
A lot of-
super long, was it?
Some of the songs
I
they
think
did-
that's what the crowd wanted to hear though, because Dipset was so fucking bad that you might as well just let the Locks do their thing.
I mean, it just felt like, you know, they were definitely getting their thing off, and I think ultimately, the Locks made themselves a cool $10 to $15 million last night.
I mean,
Like,
for
they
sure.
clowned Dipset into actually turning off the music and actually singing the songs themselves.
That-
Like it got that bad.
Well,
They
I
were
just feel
lip
like-
syncing in the beginning, and they were like, "Nah, dog, you can't do that."
Yeah. I
And
mean,
they got clowned into actually.
I mean,
rapping.
he even said it.
He's like, "What do you think this is SOB?" He's like, "Yeah, dog, you here for a battle? Step it up."
Right.
Jada wasn't playing, dog. Styles, not, and they were
At
getting
all.
super disrespectful.
Yeah.
It was. I almost thought that it was gonna get violent a few times.
Yeah, I mean,
actually.
I definitely like questioned everybody at Dipset.
Joel
street
Santana's
cred.
fucking bandana gets smacked off his head and thrown on the floor. Are you
Well,
kidding me?
Mind you, they just did a show together.
Yeah.
Over July 4th weekend, they did a show together in Norfolk, and I was
Then
there. The next
Dipset
day.
should have been ready.
Nah, because it was like the
Was
Dipset-
all of Dipset in Norfolk?
Yeah, everybody
Rome?
was there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, everybody was there. But I think the bigger thing was like doing a show together is one thing, but doing a battle against each other, obviously, we're now.
It needs more preparation.
Yeah, but it wasn't even really like a battle. It was like a showing of their catalog of music. It wasn't like they're like freestyle.
You got to know your
battle.
music. You can't.
Nah, I think
mumble
in
the
a
words.
in a sense of battle, it wasn't new versus new. It was our catalog versus y'all's catalog, and we've updated it. And the Locks did a lot of.
It was a
very-
battle too, though, because
The
the
Locks did a
Locks
lot of-
were there to battle.
They're
Yeah, but
ready for war.
They were, but the Locks did a lot of songs that you wouldn't have necessarily expected them to do, right?
True.
They didn't.
They had some
they-
questionable.
They had a couple
song
questionable
choices as well.
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
also remember they also treated it like a show set. Like he kept saying, go to the napalm crate, go to the this crate. Like they knew
Yeah.
what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
And so obviously, and this is where it even gets a little funny style is the Jewel's comment when he's like, y'all ain't got no records for the ladies.
Ooh,
Which was
they
the
went
most-
to the late. It was perfect timing though. It ended up
Well, it was a
being a
perfect alley-oop.
curse. That was
It
the nail
almost-
on the coffin.
But it was almost too perfect. It was
Yeah.
almost too perfect of an alley oop to be like, y'all ain't got no ladies records, and then go with, you know, the Mariah joint,
Yeah.
J Lo joint,
Mary J.
Mary J. Like, I mean, come
Come
on,
on,
man. I mean,
come
like
on.
the knock yourself out. Like,
Yeah.
they got records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the Styles P, I Get High interlude was
Yeah.
was well. So you know, at the end of the day, I think that it's not even about an age thing per se. It's just about kind of your interest in hip hop. Dipset is very swagger, very, you know what I'm saying, like.
I
Jim
don't even
Jones.
know about their swagger. That shit was
Anymore.
Yeah, that shit was
We gotta
trash.
give them. We
Well,
gotta
their
give them.
swag-
They were swagged out.
Their swag
15,
has-
16
their swag
years
has
ago. They were
expired.
Once
kings.
upon a time. Once
Yes.
upon a
The
time.
Dipset
They were
swag-
trendsetters.
The Dipset swag has expired, right? It was 20
Yeah.
years ago that the Pink Range and the whole Cam's whole steez, which is fine.
Joel
Everybody-
Santana with the USA outfit on. Come on, that was legendary.
Right. It was legendary.
They were
For
ahead
sure,
of their
for
time.
Sure, for sure,
but,
for sure.
But, you know, the Locks' thing is they've been consistent in who they are for 25 years.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
They're
Right?
true to it.
It's never been about what they had on. It was never about
Outside of the
saying?
shiny suit, little.
that was
minor
that was a
setback.
mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was Puff. That was Puff
Yeah.
doing that.
But,
that
in,
was,
the
that was
same,
paying
but
the
in the
bills.
same respect, you know what I'm saying? They've just been about hip hop, and even though they're not on a lot of people's minds or hearts, the masses, they still do what they do. They can still tour, and they might only be doing 5,000-6,000, but they'll still sell out tours.
Oh, I'm going. If they go on tour, I'm going.
It is a tour. It's State Property, Dipset, and the Locks.
Yep.
Now there was only 8. There were only 8 dates on that tour, but I believe after last night
they're gonna have to add some.
They're gonna have to because they weren't hitting anywhere in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia.
Yeah.
They're gonna hit out here.
So now
they're gonna come out here.
You have to go to the Norva because Norfolk is basically a 6-borough, right, with all the New Yorkers down there. You got to hit either D.C. or the Fillmore because it's just too perfect, or you got to hit Baltimore because Baltimore again has a lot of New York
transplants,
and maybe even just the Baltimore area, maybe not the city per se, but nevertheless, it was extremely entertaining. Twitter was incredibly on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. Shout out to Eddie Wong. Eddie Wong is he was hurt. He's still hurt.
He's still hurt.
Now. He's
still hurt. He's a very, very big Dipset
He was
fan,
so hurt.
Cameron
He was focusing on outfits and not bars.
Yeah.
He
We
was
got to
in his
talk about
feelings.
outfits too, though. What y'all think about Joel's outfit?
Joel tried to win because the jacket was like $3,200 and it just wasn't the piece to win. with.
Nah,
It wasn't put together.
It wasn't. It's like you
Yeah.
can't spend money and expect to just pull it off. Like money does not always get you style.
No, you can't buy style. You could buy fashion. You can't buy style.
Yeah, you can buy style. Sometimes you don't have to rock everything.
And Jim Jones
That's Louis Vuitton.
Jim Jones with the leather tracksuit and the long
chain on it.
wallet
Come on.
chain. Come on, dog.
Yeah, I mean, even Cam was like,
I don't even know what Cam was wearing.
I don't even know. It was, but
He was trying to promote his brand
Cam needed like a better haircut. Like who gave
my
Cam that
God.
haircut?
or
Like,
a brush.
What was that? It was like a terrible temper taper.
Again,
Yeah.
these are Cam's 45 now, I think. So
Cam is
too.
45.
Me too.
But you can't have that sort of hairstyle. Like wear a hat.
Exactly.
Things start to fall off. One of those possibly could be his hairline. You
No,
never
the hairline
know.
looked intact.
Nah, he just
It
didn't
was
get
just a
haircut.
bad haircut.
It was
or
a
lack
terrible-
of a
It
haircut.
was it was a haircut. It was a terrible haircut.
It was a
That-
terrible haircut. There was no transition in it.
At all.
Listen, at the
Just-
end of the day, I think what's going to happen, though, is the tour just added probably an extra 10 dates.
Yeah.
Because they had random dates. They had, like, Orlando. They had Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's weird.
And I'm like, how do y'all not have D.C.,
Yeah.
Maryland, Virginia? Like, this is,
Yeah,
like...
the big
How you
markets that really
Yeah.
fuck with y'all.
Skip
Boston.
over everything.
Even, like, Rhode Island, like Providence, like, places like that where y'all... Connecticut, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
West side of Chicago. Like, how do y'all not...
Philly.
But now you know they're going to add some dates to that
Yeah.
tour. And it was just great for hip-hop, man. It was great for New York City. Another moment was the New York moment when he was like, when Cam did Welcome to New York City.
Yeah.
And Cam said, man, you don't got a bigger New York record than me.
Shit on him.
Jada came
What?
back with his verse from New York by Ja. I was like,
Oh, he shit on him.
Oh,
He was like, "We got Grammys. What are you talking about?"
yo, you could see Fat Joe was in the crowd and had his mask on the whole time.
Yeah.
He pulled.
Well,
his
he's on that
mask down.
song, right?
Yeah, he pulled his mask down and went, ooh, and
Yup.
put his mask right back on. Like Fat Joe might have been the only person at Hulu Theater with a mask on.
I saw
yesterday, by the way.
I saw one other dude.
There was a couple
I saw
people
one
on
other
stage.
dude. Yeah, I saw one dude in the crowd.
That was yeah,
shout out
It was
to-
a super
shout out-
spreader though. Shout out to COVID.
Shout out to the Delta for sure. They,
Shout out to Delta.
So they had
Yeah.
Michael Buffer do the intro, which really
I didn't like
set it
that.
up properly.
You like that?
I thought it was
I didn't fuck with
very-
it. It was
I thought
weird.
It was solid. Yeah, I think,
He was reading through like
I think it was appropriate.
Jewel's.
Yeah, it was definitely
He didn't know
appropriate.
any of the people. I mean,
No,
But,
he was
but why would he? Why would he?
I don't know. I would just hope it would have been somebody who really fucks with hip hop, and I don't need to hear. Let's get ready. Did he even say let's get ready to rumble? I don't even think he even
I
said
don't
his
think he
line.
did.
They probably didn't have a big enough bag to pay him to
But
say that.
why even have him? Like that's the only line you're there for.
I mean,
Actually, I don't even know if we're allowed to say that line because he has a trademark. Like,
you could say it, you just can't make money. You can't
Yeah,
charge.
you
it.
can
oh,
say
okay,
it,
there you
yeah.
go. Yeah, good point. So yeah, but
So-
if you're there for that one line, like, bro. But you know what? Sheik was already like, fuck you. Like they were already talking shit while the intros were happening. They weren't even playing.
Yeah, they didn't want no smoke.
The locks came ready, man. You fucking Styles P looked like he was gonna go run 2 miles right after the fucking versus battle.
They
he came in like
they
some
came ready for battle.
like he came in some like Flyknit Pegasus or some shit.
Yo,
like
when
green
you got
joints.
when you got Timberland when you got Timberlands and shorts on, you ready to go.
and black socks. I'm like,
You ready to go.
yeah, nah, Kiss, man, incredible, legendary, top 5 dead or alive. He solidified his position with
For
that,
sure.
with this versus, man. He's
It
2-0.
might have been the best versus so far.
It's definitely top 2, top 3.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at how far Versus has really evolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're now in Madison Square Garden.
I mean, it's a concert. At the end of the day, now it's like a concert.
Whereas when it first started, you had RZA and Premier trying
Yeah.
to like match up with each other over.
Yeah, with
Needed to
dial-
figure out.
also-
RZA couldn't even figure out how to do Instagram Live.
He
He
had
had
like
right.
dial up.
somebody had to call
Yeah.
in, and it was just issues.
Yeah.
So
I
I mean,
almost think Rome, Versus needed this. Like they were on a decline,
Yeah.
steady decline. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't as we're out of the pandemic. People are moving around. People are doing other things. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is at the house anymore where we were looking forward to a versus. This was one competition that really made us be like, yo, Tuesday night, we gotta tune
This
in,
shit
right?
was stupid.
Everybody who loves hip hop music was tuned in.
Yeah.
Whether you're from this generation and don't know the Locks or don't know Diplomats, but you were like, yo, this is gonna be an important event. I gotta check it out.
Shit was bananas.
So it I think it, in a way, it was sort of a savior for the whole Versus brand itself. Like I
Absolutely.
think, I mean, shout out to Swiss and Timberland and their whole teams, but this was necessary. We're back outside a little bit, and
they got paid
the brand-
last night too.
Hell yeah.
The Garden was sold out.
well, I mean,
Hell
I
yeah.
think too, Versus to me made the ill-informed decision to not partner with Apple Music on this.
Yeah.
Right out, they went with Triller and this Fight TV app or whatever the case may be, and I'm sure they're fine.
I watched it
apps
on the
and
Triller
brands,
app
whatever,
yesterday.
But I really feel like that Apple Music reach could take this to an entirely different level over the course of time.
So to my understanding, wasn't it on Apple Music at one point in time
Yeah.
for a couple different verses?
I think they had it
was,
like
yeah.
a 10 versus deal
Something like that, yeah.
or something
yeah.
like that, and it was on Apple. And, I think Apple kind of wanted ownership. I think I heard Swiss talking about it. But, I mean, they went with a bigger bag, and they retained ownership, and they were able to give portions of versus ownership out to 43 or something like that contestants who did the early verses, like
yeah.
Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, like those were legendary
That was
fucking
another-
verses.
that
That
was
was
another
what
good one.
that was the first one where the two people were in the same room, and it created such a huge buzz for verses. Motherfuckers
Yeah.
were like, yo, this shit is a party. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
That one was crazy. Where did y'all watch it? You watch it on IG Live, Rome?
No, I watched it. So there's a lot of DJs on Twitch who do like Twitch streaming parties,
Yeah.
and so they have it on their Twitch channels. They have it like somehow they have the feed, into the channel, and it was super crisp, super clear. Like it was incredible. Like the only thing missing, I feel like in general, is just the IG comments. Right?
Yeah.
It's always funny to see like a basketball team be like say something crazy, or see like Sprite leave a comment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that is always, you're like, oh,
Sprite.
you're like, oh
You're
man,
like, wow.
Yeah.
Sprite social media team's like, yo, our favorite song is
Yeah.
is, you know what I'm
Reebok
saying?
comes on
Ride or-
there, like-
Ride or Die chick. And you're like, yo,
Jada
Sprite?
Kiss
What?
did a
Yeah.
commercial with us with Allen
Yeah,
Iverson.
yeah. You know, some
Eddie, where did
McDonald's.
you watch it?
I watched it on YouTube, man, because I have the app on my Apple TV, and it was like full screen, no comments, just
That's tight.
yeah. So I watched it on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit of delay, but I'm not worried about it.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it was tight. It was
This shit was
dope.
fire.
I was gonna say something.
All the memes are crazy, yo.
Yeah,
This
the
shit's
locks
bananas.
won, man.
Hands down. They like to say there's no winner, but they definitely like.
Nah, they won. I mean,
They
Jadakiss is
shit on
2-0 in versus. He bodied Fab, and you know what I'm saying, and came through with the locks and first undefeated 2 in a row winner. Like
No
for
bullshit.
versus. He came through hard body.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like again, we already reiterated a huge win for hip hop. Really a big win for New York. New York doesn't really have a lot of young energy right now. Obviously, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. So we're kind of living off legacy artists now, and it's dope to see hip hop get older, right? It's one of the only genres you see where people kind of lose appeal as they get older. You know what I'm saying? And so with a lot of New York artists, you're seeing a lot of them sort of hit that mid to late 40s and still have successful careers. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody knows Versus helps boost your career tremendously, especially if you put a new song out. And we've seen everybody do that in some way, shape, or form. But
Yeah.
you know, like it was just incredible, man. I think the social media reach it's just been really, really good, and we'll see what happens. So, episode 125 was a podcast. Obviously, we deviated from our normal sort of intro, but it's just fine. We want
It was necessary.
Yeah, we want to speak. We want to first of all say happy birthday to Silent Tom. He is obviously a tremendous
Silent.
part of the show, 1/4 of the show, Freaky Zeke, if you will, right? Happy birthday to Eddy, Streetwear Eddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, fellas.
That
Thank
just
you.
Passed.
Happy birthday.
That just passed. You know what I'm saying? Eddie's in the building. Happy birthday, happy 60th birthday to Barack Obama.
44.
Yeah, 44.
He's having a super spreader party in Martha's Vineyard this weekend.
I mean,
That's
We-
all right.
should
That's
go.
all right.
Nah, I'm joking. Everybody's vaccinated, and of course they're gonna do their due diligence. But yeah, I mean the media just wants to. They need something.
at this point, I feel like multiple people have attended multiple
Super spreader
events.
You're
you know what
gonna
I'm
have
saying?
one next week. Is
Prob-
Barack coming?
Barack, I don't know. I gotta text
He
him
hasn't
back.
RSVP'd yet.
I mean, he hit me, but you know, I've been busy. So,
Haven't got back to him yet.
Yeah, haven't got back to him yet, but I will though, because Michelle's the homie. You feel me? So,
Of course, of course.
But and then yeah, next week we have the Darling Nikki, the world's greatest Leo celebration is what we're calling it. It
Come
should
through,
be-
party with us, man.
It should be celebrating. Darling Nikki has really hit a nice little.
Is
space
that going to
in
be
DC
at
right now.
Capo again?
Yeah, it's at Capo. Everything Darling Nikki in DC that's not like on a festival is just going to be at Capo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's also your birthday coming up too, so that's going to be a
yeah,
celebration.
that'll be
3/4 of What's a Podcast has their birthday within like a 3-week span. That's crazy.
Leo,
Everybody's
Leo,
all Leo.
A lot of Leo energy, yeah. And then that night we have Spencer Tracy coming in to DJ.
Oh,
That'll
okay.
be fun. We got Mitch's birthday, Money Mitch. We got Bromar. We got like 6 or 7 other people. That's why
Happy
we call it-
birthday to Dre the Mayor, friend of the
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
former guest.
Yeah. And the last Darling Nikki, number 3, with our man Zay. That was special. Did we talk? We didn't talk about that, did we?
Nah, we didn't
No,
talk about
yeah.
it.
It was special. It was packed out. It was packed out by 10:30.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Doors
Yeah.
at 10. Shout out to our homie Mickey. Mickey is this kid. He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he was aware of the party. Mind you, we only had 2 parties up to this point. He didn't know Matthias or I personally. He decided to drive from Raleigh, North Carolina to DC, day of.
Wow.
Gets himself an Airbnb, works through his proper channels. By 8 p.m., me, him, Matthias, and T Nice, who's our photographer slash DJ, are at Red Light enjoying a pizza together, just chopping it up. He came. To
He
the
just
party.
ran into you there, or he linked up with
He
you
just
guys?
he knows Eric from Commonwealth and VA. And then
Okay, yeah.
He knew Matthias through Twitch, but like that's not really like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know somebody. So you know what I'm saying as the
For
as the
Matthias, it is.
for the host that we are for the host that
Shout out
we
Matthias.
are,
I'm just
shout out
kidding.
Matthias, that's my guy.
Yeah,
But for
of
the host
course.
that we are, we just sort of like, all right, man, it's cool. Like,
Yeah,
you
come
broke
through.
bread. You broke
Rock
bread.
with us.
if the homies vouch for you, then it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
And he came from out of town to show love.
boom. You know what I mean? So he was in there, and it's
And it
like
was
the time
lit,
of-
so
it made us look like super winners. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like it was a great time. So we want to definitely just shout out to everybody who's been to Darling Nikki. Eddie, your peoples was in the building. She was having a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Her
I was like,
squad-
"Where's Eddie?" She's like,
home
Passed
chilling.
Yeah, she was in a good place, but her girl was in a great place. Like,
Well, it was her birthday celebration
It
also.
was Jazz. It was Jazz's birthday celebration, and
Yep.
Jazz was just.
Oh, she was on one.
I mean, it was her 30th. So
Yep.
she was super turned up. Like
Yep.
she was in a good place.
Yep.
But it was cool,
Biggs
man.
was in the building, of course.
Big's our mascot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Biggs almost cried. Biggs almost cried to me this week that he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss next week's party. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
He
man.
just went to. He just
What's
went
his
to
excuse for not making it?
He's in Montreal.
Oh, you know,
Oh.
Biggs stays on the go.
No. Biggs is in. He's going to Greece right now. Then he flies back, hits Montreal, Toronto, and comes back to DC. Greece is like the new Tulum. I don't like it anymore.
It's
You
like
know
the
what I'm
new. Yeah, I like it.
Gre-
I mean,
Nah.
listen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But ain't nothing new about Greece.
For the
I mean, it's
African
literally
American,
it's probably one of the oldest countries in
Right.
Europe
Right.
from a million years ago.
In civilization.
It's civilization.
for the African American. How can I say this nicely? For the African American casual
Traveler.
traveler,
Yes.
Greece is the new Tulum.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna go too crazy into it, but, but
But you turned off by it. You're not going.
I'm going to Arizona in 10 days, and that's all I got for you. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So y'all don't need to tell me nothing.
You doing Darling Nikki, Arizona?
Nah. We got some things popping. Season 9 of Locals Only, which is my homie Fresh. It's very similar to Darling Nikki. That kicks off very soon, so I'll be back and forth a lot. But we also want to give a tremendous shout out to our guy E the Chef. E the Chef, and we'll give a full review. But E the Chef and his man dropped off their gear to me at the shop. Well, E the Chef did, his man Malik did, but they came through. The gear is phenomenal.
Is it for all of us? Or
It's
just
all
for
for
you?
all of us. Yeah. it's
Oh,
all for all
word!
of us.
Shout
I
out
got-
to Either Chef, man.
I got 3 bags. I think
Nice.
there's 1 or 2 children's shirts in there. So, and I apologize to Edith Chef. I just haven't been able to get up with Eddie and Abdul because we just been.
Nah, we're gonna
mad
come get it
busy.
this week.
But it's really some incredible stuff. So we'll make sure we have all the
Hell yeah.
podcast links and the Instagram stuff and the
Yeah.
website links. But it's tremendously detailed, and it's just a really good. It's really well produced merch. So we'll give that a full review hopefully next week because I think we're gonna take a week off after that. But we'll see how that goes.
Also, look for some What's a Podcast merch coming soon, man. We got some things working that we're working on.
Yeah. So real quick, Abdul and I did some recon work in the streets last week. We did some recon work.
Actually, we talked about it on the podcast. We said we
Yeah.
were gonna go.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you said
well,
you
I
were-
think
we followed up.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for y'all?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, should we say what we were even talking about it?
All right, so listen. This
Yeah.
is what I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah, no, we got to
Yeah.
tell.
Listen,
We got to give a
people.
background. On it.
When have we ever held back?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
never.
we must have recorded last Tuesday. or
Tuesday.
Wednesday. Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Wednesday, I think I ran out somewhere, and then I'm coming back, and I'm like, "Yo, Abdul, what's good? I'll be home in like 30 minutes. Like, let's make it work."
Yep.
So we like bet. So we link. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, we head to
Amamanier.
because we know that I have been very lustful towards these Jordan 3s. Right? I keep seeing people wearing them, and I'm just like, either y'all have put StockX into another tax bracket,
Yeah.
or I really missed out on the easiest cop of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like it might have been the easiest cop in the year if
Right.
you
Which
made
I-
your way to Monier.
I don't get it because none of us got them.
But everybody, I see 20 people, no lie, I see 20 people a weekend come into the shop with them
Yeah.
on, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm cool if cats buy out StockX. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah, we all
some
do.
of these cats, I'm like, nah, they're not buying off StockX. I'm
No,
like, y'all,
they don't
y'all
even know what
got 'em.
StockX is.
And it's a consistent shoe during the week. Like, people are wearing this shoe. They're not like
Yeah.
letting it sit on ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and
I
that's
think it
part
hurt.
of the reason why we went there, because we thought that
They
we
might still
missed
have 'em
out.
or
No,
something.
well, not that they might still have them, but we thought the idea behind going was, you know what, we should have gone when the 3s dropped, because there was a huge chance of us winning that shoe if we had made it out there to enter the raffle in person. But because we had missed it, we were like, yo, maybe we should go see what the staff looks like, check out the shop. It's been a minute. I don't even know if Jerome has actually even ever been there before. Have you?
No, it was my first time.
Yeah,
going.
so I've been there before
been
the
there before.
pandemic, when I actually had friends working there. And shout out to Maul, Frank, Tio, Gabby, the whole crew, right? So, but they now have a whole new staff, and I haven't been there, so it was a good opportunity to go out there and just be like, yo, what's up? Welcome
Show
to our
face.
city. It's I don't think any of those people working there are actually from this area. I think I heard that the manager dude, who I think was the gentleman we were talking to, Rome, is from Houston, or he's from the Houston store, or relocated out here. But listen, either way, we made a trip out there, and what happened, Rome?
Nothing. I bought some $10 hand wash.
Yeah,
we pretty much
expensive sanitizer.
We pretty much chopped it up with the staff. They said they liked my hat. We kind of just surveyed the land. I was like, I see there's 3 people working.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. So we're there on a Wednesday afternoon at like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as you walk in, or as soon as you walk up, the door's already locked.
The door is locked.
Door's locked.
Yeah, because the people have been going in there robbing them.
But why is the
Right.
door locked? Because
So you
it's
can't
not like
just-
bro,
so you can't just run in and grab
that makes-
something and roll out.
That makes no sense, Eddie,
Yeah.
because it's not like you need a key to unlock it. It's still like a little thing right at the door.
Yeah.
So even if I'm stealing some, I could just hit the little lock myself and let myself out.
Yeah.
So why even have it locked?
They might not let certain people in,
Well,
that's
so-
the problem right there.
Or
So-
they might let,
Like,
let only a
if you're-
certain amount of people in at one time, like 5 people in at once, so it can keep eyes on everybody.
So we
Okay.
pull up, we get there, we walk up, the door's locked, cool. As we're walking in, 2 other dudes are walking out, and then there's 2 other people to the left of us, right? So
Yeah.
it was just this weird 6-person sort of moment where we're like, can we come in? They're like, yeah. And then these other dudes are just standing there waiting to leave, and the other 2 staff are just to our left, just kind of just, I'm just like, all right, bro, this is weird, but like, let's keep pushing. Abdul and I are the savvy shoppers that we are. We make a very quick observation that they don't have anything. Like, it was just like, oh, this is where the Dior and the Amiri and like.
Listen, if you can afford all that stuff,
I mean,
I think that's
some
great.
would say they
You
have
should-
everything,
But
They may
there
not-
wasn't like a Stussy
We're talking about
t-shirt.
in store. I mean, obviously they have like a top
I mean,
tier,
it's definitely like an elevated streetwear store.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to have like Stussy.
high fashion
and,
too.
like-
High fashion, like
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
things that are probably out of our tax bracket.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not the definition of or even the consumer that rocks that sort of shit, right? Like the high fashion Amiri shit,
Nah.
Dior, like what else they got? Like
They got Fendi, I
guess
think.
like I don't know about Fendi, but like Rick Owens, all that shit, like a lot of Stone Island. I think Stone Island is probably as high as we go, right? Like
They got Bape too, don't they?
they do have vape.
I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
They got
I
all-
mean,
Well, we
Off-White,
didn't go upstairs.
Off-White.
We didn't go
Bape.
upstairs. The Bape is upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good looking store. It's just, it's not. There's something that's missing. Almost like sort of a warmth feeling where
Like-
you go
like
if I go to
character.
if I go into a sneaker store, like you know what I'm saying. For one, I want to see product.
Yeah.
Right. I want to see.
Well, the
even
sneakers
if
are
it-
downstairs.
No, it's only the high end sneakers downstairs now.
Oh, they switched it because
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
Nikes
yeah.
and shit was
Th-
downstairs.
It's all on the first floor now, but
Okay.
it's not a lot of stuff. All the high end sneakers that I can't afford are downstairs, and upstairs is the Bape shit.
Okay.
But I mean, all in all, man, listen, I enjoyed it. We went there. Best part of the whole trip was, where did we go afterwards? We went to Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Fucking
Right next door.
right next door. Got
Dog,
some Popeyes chicken sandwiches and some nuggets and tenders, and man, it was a feast.
We dumbed out, you know. What I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it was back to the crib because it was
Yeah.
pretty much like we let. But like obviously, we was just trying to check the temperature, trying to see if we could. Like,
I'm gonna go back, man. I'm gonna go back and chop it up with those folks.
Yeah, I mean, it was just trying to check the temperature, like, oh, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? If y'all free Darling Nikki, but they didn't even look like they wanted to be invited to Darling Nikki. Like,
They
it
too
was-
cool over there.
yeah, they were too cool, but
They
not
too
too cool.
cool.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it was 90 degrees. The homie was wearing a Bape hoodie. Like, I get it. 'cause
I don't get it.
Because Mitch does that all the time. Mitch wears hoodies in like the middle of summer. I'd be like,
Mitch
bro,
is
what
high
is this?
fashion too. I mean, shout out to Colors.
With the Commonwealth hoodie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
high
I,
fashion.
I don't get it.
Nevertheless,
Mitch doesn't sweat. Listen,
probably doesn't. So
yeah,
Okay.
Mitch's birthday coming up August 11th.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Darling
saying?
Nikki
So,
Leo party.
the world's greatest.
This
Leo
episode is sponsored by
celebration.
Darling Nikki. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah,
Let's go with it.
We'll repost it.
Dave
Nevertheless,
Chappelle is going to show up next week.
So speaking of Dave Chappelle had a nice little DC run over the weekend. I want to say he was everywhere, right? He was at Eaton. He was at the Anthem, and he was at the Kennedy Center.
I went to the Kennedy Center joint.
I did not see any social media from the Anthem, but like I get that they take your phones.
They
but
take
what I'm
it.
saying
Well,
is-
they don't take it. They lock it in a bag,
it up.
and you hold on to the bag.
So like I didn't even see videos or photos of people like walking up to the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see, because what we spoke about it, the tickets were so expensive.
no,
And
it was
listen,
sold out.
I have friends in every tax bracket in America, so I'm not tripping off that per se. But there was no video. Like I didn't even see video of like the girls who are 27 that date 50-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like there was
Yeah.
no video of even just walking up. Like, oh my God, I'm here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right. So I went for a run Friday night because I'm a loser. And I ended up doing like 10.5 miles. But part of my run, after I left the Capitol, I swung over to Southwest and went by the wharf. And it was about 9 o'clock at the time. And I was like, oh, let me actually go close to the water and see what the crowd looks like for the Dave Chappelle show at the Anthem. Yo, that line to get in looked crazy. So it was actually coming out of the Anthem, bust a right, and then the long walkway that goes into the water and to that other building that's
yeah,
Like the pier.
the pier.
yeah.
The line was all the way at the end of the pier.
Yeah. Wow.
Like it was that many people trying to get in. Majority of the people were all colonizers, but no, there was tons of people.
That's why you didn't see any videos, because you don't follow none of them.
Yeah, I think our algorithm just doesn't match up.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not gonna, I only probably follow 3 colonizers in DC.
Do you?
So, yeah,
Oh, actually,
yeah.
I follow.
They're all probably female.
No,
But they're all with the cause.
like Dave. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dirty hands.
Impulse.
Nah, he lives
Ah.
in Baltimore. No, I think. Do I still follow Dirty Hands? I don't know. I might have clicked that unfollow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, shout out to Impulse too. Impulse, he updated Abdul and myself on the comment that we made last week.
On the comment Abdul made or we made?
Wait,
Well, I think we had a full conversation basically stating about
I think Jerome made it.
the demographic. No, we were speaking about the demographic of night brunch,
Yeah.
and I think I was like maybe it's 35 and older.
Oh, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then
You might have said 40 and over.
Nah, I think I said 30. Maybe
okay.
I don't recall. I listened to the episodes. I don't recall.
Okay.
But basically, he was just like, it's actually 30 and older,
Yeah.
right? And I get it. Like, I haven't been to a night brunch in a minute outside of the last one that I went to, which was they were a little vintage in there. You know what I'm saying? But I do have friends.
Well seasoned.
I do have friends in Baltimore that have been, and they're all. And mind you, I'm about to be 41. So
Yeah, I was saying we could say that. We 30 plus.
I don't even know that
40 plus.
30-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like who's 30 that I know?
Like just 30 or in their
Ugly
30s?
Mike. Ugly Mike is 20.
Mike's 20. Mike will be 21. But like Omar,
Yeah.
Mitch.
Omar's probably
Omar's 30.
Omar's the only 30-year-old that I know, right? But nevertheless, man, I Impulse. You know what I'm saying? They have a wide-ranging, amazing group of people. I'm actually DJing the 27th.
Night brunch?
Night brunch the 27th at the Sagamore Pendry. So that's gonna be.
So
insane.
what's your set look like for the
Lots.
night brunch?
LOX.
We're gonna fill it out. We're gonna see what happens. I think I'm not exactly sure where the Sagamore Pendry is. I think
It's
on the
right there.
waterfront.
It's right there on the water. It's actually on like a pier. It like
Okay.
goes out into the water. It's really dope. It's a really dope hotel.
So we just gonna check the vibes. You know what I'm saying? If we get this, I think it starts at 7 to 12. It's a nice little sunset set.
you
what
know
I
it's
mean?
an old crowd if it starts at 7.
I mean, it's a
Eddie's not helping.
Eddie's not helping.
I'm
at
just
all.
saying. yo,
Impulse
Fa-
about to call. Impulse call Eddie.
call me.
All right.
Call me.
Nah,
but
shout out.
facts are only facts, and it's okay.
Oh man.
No, I think,
Everybody, every age demographics deserves to party and have a good time, and it's a successful party. Who cares how old they are?
Well, I think it actually helps nowadays to have a bit of an older minded established crowd.
So what day of the week does it fall on?
Friday.
Okay, so yeah, so
Friday
whatever.
the 27th.
It's like right after happy hour, you go there.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the thing to do on that Friday. This might be the thing to do that whole weekend.
That's right up my alley too. Summer starts at 7 and over at midnight. I still get a good night's sleep. So I'm
gonna stay. I'm gonna stay in Baltimore. I'm gonna stay in Baltimore.
You should get a room at the Pendry. The Pendry's dope.
Probably get a room at Revival because that's where they got the link at. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'll see what it is.
Hotel tonight got that Pendry on there.
Even
but if he doesn't have to pay for it,
the
the
Revival link is crazy.
I hear you.
Revival link is free.
Yeah, so then I'm gonna stay in Baltimore. I'm gonna get up the next day. I'm gonna try to get over to Taste This, catch them early, and then I gotta swing right back to DC. I got.
You say you going to where?
Taste This. It's my man's restaurant up there.
Okay.
The joint's amazing.
Okay.
And then I gotta do Armageddon is having an all white party.
Oh shit!
It's always a banger.
Shout
At
out to
1942.
Armageddon.
I think he always used to do it at the W, but the W's about to change hands now.
Shout out to
I'm
East
not
Coast
sure.
Sound Patrol.
Yeah, I'm actually DJing at 1942 this Saturday. Looking forward to that, and then next Friday as well. So
It's been years. I mean, it's been years since a white party. That's 30 plus too.
with Armageddon,
I think that might be
40.
like 40 plus.
Listen, Armageddon, I like awesome dude, and I just know what he wants. He just wants to hear R&B. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I make it simple. We don't have to do a lot of. I mean, I'll give you some turn up or whatever.
Actually, the last one was also at the W. Clark Kent came and played that one. Remember
But
that?
what I'm saying,
It was the
what
day
I'm
party.
saying though is that with the W changing hands now, because it's not going to be a W too much longer.
Nah, I didn't know that.
They sold it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be rebranded. It's not going to be a W anymore.
All right.
So we'll see. I don't even know where it is. He just asked me to play, and then that night I'm doing Kennedy Center. I'm doing the Heist Kennedy Center thing.
Oh, we're gonna pull up on that.
Which I've heard is a really good time.
Yeah.
Actually.
I actually went to that space on Sunday after the Dave Chappelle show. Dave had a private after party upstairs on the roof. So we went to the movie. We watched the screening, which, by the way, you should check out whenever it drops. That Dave Chappelle movie documentary coming out is fire.
Was he emceeing the event?
He came and talked, had like a talk and did a little segment like after the movie, after the credits had rolled.
So he was in the building.
He was there. And then he had the party upstairs, which was, open to his guests. But listen, I mean, we had no invitations, my wife and I, but we were able to fucking talk our way into it. And not only was I able to talk our way into it for the two of us, but along with us was a couple of her friends and another couple. And my brother-in-law, like all seven of us ended up being able to get in there. So
You use the Rock Creek cheat code?
nah, you know what? I ended up having a we gotta talk. We can't come clean on that yet. It's too soon, Eddie. We can't come clean on that. I think that's a conversation we gotta have next year. But now I ended up having a conversation with Dave's security guy who was downstairs, and I think with like getting into places you're not invited, not only do you need to have a certain level of confidence, but you gotta be humble too, right? Like
Respectful.
yeah, you gotta be respectful, but you gotta be humble. Like you gotta know that things that you could say that should not insult somebody. So while I was like, yeah, I was supposed to be on somebody's list, and he's like, whose list? And I was like, it's nobody you would know. It's a DJ that's here from DC. I might have even said Jerome's name. I don't even remember. I just made up a name.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to come up with like a name that he might know and he can actually check with, right? And I was like, yeah, we had a great time at the movie. We're trying to get upstairs. I thought our names were supposed to be on the list to get in and all that stuff, but it didn't work out. Either way, it was a great night. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh man, that's how many people are you with? I was like, everybody right here. And sure enough, we all got bands, walked upstairs, you know what I'm saying? And had a ball, man. I never even gave them my phone. Like I had my phone, I was taking videos, and Dave fucking singing fucking Prince songs.
Smoking
and,
mad cigarettes.
yo, he stays smoking stoves. Like,
Yo.
that's his thing.
Yo.
Yeah. But shout out to Jake, who's Dave's security dude.
Jake just got fired.
Jake is good peoples, man. I think Jake is good. I think Jake is good. It was good to see a lot of people up there. Oz was there, who listens to the podcast. But yeah, I mean, we just it you know what? I think having a partner who you're not going to be embarrassed, how can I put this? I don't get embarrassed in front of my wife, right? Like, I'm not too cool to get embarrassed. And she understands, like, there's a strong possibility we're not going to get into this party. So you got to have somebody with you who's just ready to roll with whatever happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I've done that shit at ComplexCon, man.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I remember I went to ComplexCon with Clark Kent, my first ComplexCon ever. It was 2017. And Clark ended up being there only for the first day of ComplexCon. ComplexCon is a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. He caught like a midnight flight back home because he had to like work the next day and had some event he had to do. So I was with him obviously the first day. The second day, I get to ComplexCon and I was like, oh shit, Clark is gone. I don't even have a way to get in. Ended up running into Dave Jeff. Do you all know Dave Jeff? Chicago legend.
Chicago.
Shout out to Dave. Owned a sneaker store called Fly. He's a legend in Chi-Town, man. If you're from Chicago and you're just like one of us, you know who Dave Jeff is. Dave is outside with his crew. None of us have tickets, and I was like, I remembered seeing one lady working there the day before. And I was like, Dave, let's try it. Let's just try to see if we can maneuver our way in. And sure enough, man, just walked up. I was like, what's up, auntie? They still got you out here, huh? Working hard. And she was like, yeah, sweetheart. Da, da, da. Next, I was like, well, this is my artist. He got to get in. He got to perform right now. And it just, sure enough, Shorty just let us in, man. We slipped through, and it was like 6 or 7 of us. But shout out to Dave Jeff, man. Friend of the show, and he's a good brother. Yeah, but that's just how you got to do it.
I mean, it really, I think one of the things you learn from that is it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's just
how
confidence.
If you say it the right way.
Yeah.
You
Act
can
like you
always
belong.
Act like you belong, but like you said, stay humble. Like we've all gotten into many things that we didn't think
Hell
we had
yeah.
a shot in the world to
Yeah,
get.
every year I went into, they had like a VIP room at ComplexCon that holds all the guests. They have like, the people that are on the panels, and it's full of celebrities and, all this shit. Every year I would just walk right into that room like I belonged there, like showed my fake ass, like my general admission band, and just be inside. I remember going in there. Rome, this was the same year we had just seen Nas at NPR Tiny Desk, which, by the way, never aired. But either way, it was the same year as that.
It's never going to air.
It's never going to air, but we saw it live. But I remember seeing Nas in there, and he was just chilling, just sitting down. But not only did I get my way into that room, I would invite other friends of mine and go to the door and be like, yo, my man got to get in. He's got to get on the panel right now. Shout out to my brother Mooby from the UK who I got in there. And yeah, we were riding the elevator with fucking Allen Iverson. He was just in another world, man. He's like, yo, how the fuck you pull this off? I was like, I don't know. You just got to go roll with it.
Again, though, you just got to, your brain just has to go to a different place of determination. And like, yo, we going to get this, fam. Like, relax.
Yeah, just listen. It
saying?
works out.
What's a podcast, episode 125. We're gonna try to keep it as positive as possible. So we're gonna get back to the New York governor situation. But Jamaica, they swept the 100-meter finals.
Oof. Yeah, women's.
The women's Jamaica, but now and there was a lot of conversation about, it could have been a blessing in disguise for Sha'Carri, because the women that ran for Jamaica were absolute.
They were there.
Incredible
Athletes.
They were just next level athletes. You know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think?
I think Sha'Carri would have had a dog in the fight, but I don't know if she could have. I mean, when you see the other two women in, like, that you're racing with of your country, you're like, yo, it's just it's us against us. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, you're gonna give your best. Shikari would have been her against the world, literally, and against the country that's kind of whatever at this moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Shikari would have.
Well, what do you think? Do you think if she came in second or third or something like that? I think personally, I think Shikari is an amazing athlete. I think if she had come in second, if she had come in anything other than first, it could have potentially hurt her brand. I think her just you know, they kicked her out of off the squad and she wasn't able to participate. Quietly might have been some sort of blessing in disguise, because all of a sudden we see all these Nike campaigns and all these things that really like pushed her forward, right? All
Yeah.
these things just happened out of
All the
nowhere.
support.
We're not sure if it would have happened if she came in second or third or anything other than first.
I mean, I hope it would have, but
I would
probably
have.
not.
I hope
But
so.
pro-
You always
probably not.
hope so, right?
But probably not.
These brands, they use you for
Yeah.
when you're having a
When you're on
moment.
top. When you're
Yeah.
on top. Yeah.
Yeah, and or if there's some sort of moment
just trending.
associated with you, yeah, whether it's a trending thing or whether you've been cheated out of something or whether you're down. Like sometimes these are the events that need to happen for you to get that sort of push from a brand or a sponsor. And if she had ran that race, and I think if she had come in anything other than first, this could have potentially hurt
I don't
her.
think. She,
But
I don't
now
think
we
she
will
would have
never
got
know.
first. I don't think she would have got first.
Nah, them ladies were fast, man, and they crushed world records, man.
That's what I'm
Personal
saying.
bests.
Yeah.
I think the person who came out in second had a faster time than Shikari's personal best.
You're right.
Not saying that she couldn't have done better.
But
this
you never
race.
know. I mean,
Yeah,
also, you know, your competition makes
yeah,
you.
it makes you better.
Work hard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
You're right. There's always that chance, but
We'll never
you
know.
We'll never know. But either way, shout out to Shikari, of course. Shout out to the Jamaican women track team, and I mean, 3 medals in one race, fastest women in the world as of right now, from a small island in the Caribbean is fucking impressive, man. And damn, I saw a lot of people hating on them on the timeline. Listen, you can hate all you want. They got the medals.
They got the medals. That's really all that matters at this point.
Hell yeah.
You know, what's a podcast episode 125? There has been a lot of conversation about DC's influence in like sneaker game, music game. There's a new ad with I believe DJ Damo, Pusha T, Ari Lennox, and 2 other individuals I can't think of off the top.
Shout out to Damo.
Showing unity amongst, you know, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, stretching from Baltimore to the 757, which is Norfolk area.
Okay.
And so that's a beautiful thing to see people uniting in any way, shape, or form.
Are those the music, the billboards on like bus stops?
Yeah. Well, the billboards are highlighting artists from the area.
Yes, it's dope.
I believe the program is called Frequency. It's very, very dope. I believe Damo is behind it, and she's really just hit a very incredible pocket with that, and we hope to see nothing but you know, more great work come out of it. In the same respect, there is a Joe FreshGoods is a designer from Chicago who has had some success with New Balance and Converse. He recently
He's kind of had success with everything he touches, so shout out to him. Black designer from Chi-Town.
New Eras,
Yeah.
Converse, New Balance.
I mean, okay. So he has a new ad out with basically it's an ad for his new shoe. It's directed by this kid Mike Carson, who's extremely talented, super dope.
Mike is also from Chicago, or
I believe Mike is from Chicago. Yeah,
Okay.
and the music in the video is done by the Alchemist.
Alchemist.
Yeah, hold me
Producer
down,
Alchemist. Okay.
Yeah, keep it thorough, Alchemist.
Nice.
And so within the video, there is a short portion of the guy driving a car.
Yeah.
When he gets out of the car, pops his trunk, he then, I believe, he either opens the trunk or pops the trunk, but you see the license plate. The license plate is a Washington, D.C.
Yes.
license plate. Even though it was shot in Chicago, it's from a
Yes.
Chicago designer. Joe FreshGoods is very fond of the D.C. area.
Yes.
You know, he's friends with Uncle Scooty. he's friends with. I met him through Scooty actually on the at the Eden
Good
Hotel
dude.
one night. Yeah. So it's just good to see DC getting some
Yeah.
shine. You know what I'm saying? I think that there is a bit more of time that's going to take to fully get recognized, but I believe the right people are in place.
Yeah.
And the influence is, the influence is debatable, I would say, to see how far it truly goes, but I don't think it's necessarily the right time for that conversation. I think you just have to say the mountain is growing. It's going from a rock
Yeah.
to a mountain, and we'll only see it get bigger and better for people who live in the DC area.
Yeah, I saw that 1 minute. It's like 1.5 minute video. Super dope. I think the important takeaway from that is paying homage to DC and the DMV and what DMV did for New Balance. Right, Chicago, if you look at it, is not a New Balance city. I mean, Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, heavy in Chicago. I want to say the shoes, when I think of Chicago, I think of Jordans and I think of Air Force Ones.
Yep.
But New Balance is, I almost want to say, and maybe even in Joe's personal life, I can't speak to that, but he probably started fucking with New Balance maybe because of some influence he got from some people out here. You know what I mean? And I think that's why that was reflected in the video. I think it's so tight to see that he was able to portray that, New Balance, the car coming through with the dude with all the sneakers in the trunk had a DC tag. You know what I mean?
Plus the 990s also.
And their 990s, which
Yeah.
is probably
V3s.
their V3s. It's not my favorite New Balance model.
But that's a DC staple.
That's a DC, DMV, Baltimore heavy hitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And the shoe he's got coming out, I think it drops actually tomorrow when this podcast is out. I hope you all get lucky, but it's dropping tomorrow in Chicago. But it was great to see him tip his hat, so to speak, to DC and the DMV by having that in his video. It said a lot.
Well, I think it also says that New Balance is just in touch with people who are making highly desirable product.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you look at everything they drop with ALD, all their stuff sells out incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And we know that the dude Teddy Santis is going to be the creative director. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Moving forward, but I think it's just smart to tap in with communities that are pretty much being ignored as well, though. Like, Nike is a Jordan town. I mean, Chicago is a Jordan town, but I'm pretty sure it's just as difficult to get Jordans in Chicago as it is anywhere else nowadays.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm speaking more historically. That's all they fuck with.
Right. So what I'm saying, though, is I believe it's in any shoe company's best interest, including Nike's, to really tap into underserved markets that have been influential, but for some reason, Nike doesn't want to give them their just due. Right? Like, DC should have been had multiple Nikes, right? Chicago should have been had. Baltimore should have been had.
Yeah,
Philly should have been
for
had.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you get one or two shoes a year that sort of highlight these places. But even like, there's a bunch of dunks coming out for certain cities, and they're very underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very just kind of like, we could have did without this. You know what I mean? So I believe it's just smart business. And I like Joe FreshGoods. He's a bit loud with his approach sometimes. For me,
right? I like Joe FreshGoods a lot.
But that's him though.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Here's what I'm saying. For me, I like the Teddy Santis approach, where we're just like, hey, I'm gonna just put this fire out and let y'all argue about it. I don't have to scream into the unknown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's me speaking. Joe, at the end of the day, Joe FreshGoods doesn't care any more about me than I do about him, and that's fine, right? But in the same space, I just feel like he's gonna set a trend, and hopefully the rest of these companies will understand like there is incredible talent, and even if you look at Kyrie came out. His next shoe, he announced that he hates it. He doesn't want to be a part of it. He's not going to.
So doesn't he get to pick his shoe when it comes out? I don't understand that.
The guy that designed his last, I want to say 5 shoes, Nike just let him go.
Wow.
And he had no input on this shoe. So when the leak,
So how do they just put his name and his logo on something that he doesn't approve?
Probably because they're Nike and they can
Yeah.
do that.
They probably own
He
his
had
logo.
no real
Yeah.
input in the
They
shoe.
probably
That's what he
own
said.
his logo.
He probably had input to up to a certain point, right? But
Yeah.
and the Kyrie shoes sell tremendously. Like they're a great selling shoe. But I just feel like
What
there's
number
so-
is it? Kyrie what?
8.
It's the 8, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's an opportunity for these companies to really go crazy, especially with social media, because you have influencers everywhere now. So
Yeah.
you can really create some. We see what Undefeated does. They smash. I think the shoes are officially up on Nike.
August
I saw
6th.
August 6th? Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what, Friday?
Yes,
So,
Friday.
I mean, I don't have a chance to get them, but that's fine. You know
Shout out to AKC.
Yeah.
ACK.
Shout out
Adrian
to
Adrian
I'll,
King
I'll
Carter.
Be, I'll be out there in October, and I'll definitely have lunch with Adrian and won't say a word
And the
about
shoes will definitely be gone.
and won't say a word about any sneakers to him. Like, hey,
Yeah.
this
And that's
motherfucker-
good. That's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do.
Our foundation is not. But there's
You know
another
what?
shoe
Go-
that I. ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Rome.
I was about to say there's another shoe that I don't have a chance to get, which is going to be the Travis Scott Fragment.
The
Jordan
lows
1
are coming
low.
out. We all struck out on the highs.
My man Chase B is Travis's DJ, and Chase is a good friend of mine. It's my homie. I don't know if he put it in his close friends or if he put it on his general story. But he had the PlayStation Dunks, and he put those on his story. I want to say last week sometime.
Okay.
And the PlayStation Dunks are phenomenal as well. The box for the PlayStation Dunks is phenomenal as well. Travis is definitely in a good place with Nike.
Killing
but
it.
I just feel like there's no chance to get them whatsoever.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking, I want to go back to New Balance in DC real quick, Rome, because what I would like to see come out of this is, because I don't actually know if New Balance as a brand does recognize this region and its contribution to the brand. I think maybe that old regime who really knew what DC DMV did for sales at New Balance as a company, I think all those folks are gone.
Yeah, they're probably
I think-
not even
yeah,
involved in the company anymore.
That was 30 years ago. You now have a new bunch of new kids who coming in, and shout out to them. I would like to see more collaborations from people from here. You know what I'm saying? We had like one DTLR has somewhat of a rotation. Shout out to June Sanders who does do New Balance sneakers. Shout out to the kid from Eat. You know what I mean? Who's done, I think, one colorway of a 990. But
Yep.
we need more of that, man. I mean, we got the museum. We got Wale, who's been in sneakers since he was a fucking kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? He knows more about sneakers than any other rapper out there, in my opinion. Like, people like that. Like, yo, I think there needs to be more that comes out of this area, creatively, like with brands. So I would like to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
we'll
think-
see what happens.
I think what it comes down to is recognition.
We need
right,
a
and-
Commonwealth New Balance.
Yeah, you need but I'm saying like you need brands who are going to be so big that it's almost undeniable, right?
Yeah.
So like if you look at ALD from the start, New Balances fit them perfectly. Even when they weren't, the look was sort of like perfect. And now that you said the people who recognize it from the 80s, 90s, they're all gone, like you said. So now you need sort of an updated regime change to say, okay, what is coming out of DC, Baltimore that fits New Balance specifically? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know if they recognize that, unfortunately, because I think there's a lot of budding brands, but there isn't like a home run per se, right? Commonwealth's kind of all over the map. I don't know what Ducky's on, Ubik, Atmos, they're on what they're on, and those June Sanders joints were so difficult to get, it was embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was legitimately embarrassing to me. I felt like that shoe should have had 100,000 shoes dropped in D.C., Maryland,
Right.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Flood the area, because then you will get so much free press,
Yeah.
people won't stop talking about it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man. Okay.
So we'll see. Real quick, we're now going to get into, well, Abdul, did you pick up any new sneakers this week? Eddie, did you pick up
I
any new
did.
sneakers while
I got
Abdul
I got
thinks
some
about it?
I got some 990s. I got some
Me either.
990s V2s.
What color?
Queen Bean is
Gray.
back, and she was showing you. Her
What did she get?
Yeah.
What she
She
got?
got some white on
Stan
whites?
Smiths?
Not some Air Force Ones.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of New Balances, man. Actually, I got the new 990 V2s that came out with the red tab, and then I got one that was only kind of specific to this area. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay.
Nothing else really.
Yeah, nothing.
How about you, Rome? What you get?
Nothing.
We missed out on the Travis fragments,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was a bummer, but it's all
I
good.
think this store is supposed to get some fire this week, though. I'm not sure. I don't work till Saturday, but I think we're
Okay.
supposed to get some of those 550 joints. We might be getting the Joe FreshGoods
The
joints.
2002s, whatever.
Yeah, I think we might be getting the Joe FreshGoods joints, but I heard
Okay.
it's only 12 pairs supposedly. So I
All
don't
right,
know.
so that's 4 of us right here. So they'll only
Nah.
Nah.
Two of us wear the same size, and
Yeah.
and Tom and
Actually,
Bromar.
3 of us wear the same size.
Yeah,
I'll
and
be
the
honest
show.
with you,
and Omar does too.
it's not
Yeah.
looking good.
It's
Omar
not looking
claims to
good.
be not feeling them, but
It's all good.
what I'll say is that I'll be surprised if any of us get them because they might just be like, yo, these got to go to the store, which would make sense in my opinion because you're going to get just a lot of good foot traffic for them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
So now we'll say, what is Abdul watching?
Yo, a lot of TV, man. Lot of TV. I caught up on a lot of things. I talked about Dave, the show,
Mhm.
which comes on FX. I think I watched the first episode when it first of the new season, and then I forgot about it a little bit. So I caught up on Dave. Hilarious. Go check it out. This new season is pretty damn funny. So I'm all caught up on Dave. I started this show called The White Lotus on HBO, and it's a little bit slow. It kind of has to do with this a resort in Hawaii and the different guests that come in. And in the first episode, it looks like there's a couple that was on the honeymoon. The wife is now dead, and then every one of the episodes is kind of going back in time, maybe leading up to how the wife died, right? So, and who killed her. It's a little bit slow, but I'm catching up on it. It's all good. Raising Canaan on Stars, which is the Power spinoff. I think everybody who listens to this podcast and all 3 of y'all would love this show, man. It's based in the 90s, Southside Jamaica, Queens. It's like the 50 Cent character in Power, Canaan. This is him as a kid growing
Wow.
up. His mom was a hustler, his uncles, and they kind of did a really good job with keeping up with the times. And the cars are all Benzes from the early 90s. Like the gear is all like Polo, Nautica, Tommy, like wearing Timbs. Like it's all very period specific, which I think was super tight. I started this other show on Netflix called How to Sell Drugs Online. Have you all watched it?
Nah.
No.
It's actually pretty good. It's a German show, but it's all about a 17-year-old kid or 16-year-old kid in high school in Germany, and his girlfriend breaks up with him, and he tries to impress her by getting some drugs. Ends up with his best friend selling the shit online, and I'm like at 5 episodes in already. Like, you know what I'm saying? I started it like a day and a half ago. So I'll get you guys updated on how that is going. I also watched, have you all seen the Olympic highlights on Peacock TV with Snoop and Kevin Hart?
Nah.
Incredible.
Yo, that might be the best thing out of the Olympics this year. Because honestly, I haven't watched any of these fucking track and field, which I thought I would, but the timing is all off. I could never seem to like catch them at, you know what I'm saying? I think they're happening like early in the day, and I got shit going on, so I'm never actually able to watch some of these events. But I started watching that show with Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. Like, if you haven't already, go watch that. I'm sure you've seen some clips on Instagram. Them not looking at the TV. So basically, what it is that they show footage from different events in the Olympics, and they kind of do their commentary on it. And one of the funniest things was when the Saudi Arabia team was coming in during the opening ceremony of the Olympics, and they all chose not to look at the monitor because they didn't want to stare at the women because they were scared of what it could do by staring at the Saudi women. Yo, hilarious. But it's a whole bunch of shit like that. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And one thing I'm actually excited about that's starting up is all of us, I'm sure, watched the Wonder Years when we were kids, right? With what's my man's name?
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Yeah, Fred Savage.
There's a new one coming. It's called The Wonder Years Reimagined, and it's also based in that same time of like the late 60s, early 70s, but it's about a black family.
Yes.
And Fred Savage actually, I think, has to do with the show as well, but it's written, created, and maybe even directed by a black dude. But it's about instead of the little white boy who was Fred Savage, it's about a little black kid and his encounters with life during that time. You know what I'm saying? His family. I'm looking forward to that, man. It comes on ABC in September. I'm sure we'll talk about it in later episodes once closer to the start of that season. So, yeah, that's TV, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Wonder Years. They've been
Yeah,
running a lot of
I love
press.
the first Wonder Years, man. Remember there was the big rumor about his boy being
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
It's not him
It's not him.
at
Yeah.
all.
No, for
Yeah.
sure though. I've been seeing a lot of press. I'm excited for that. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out a way to get some ABC in this household so we can make it work. But
Yeah.
uh,
Nas album coming out Friday.
Nas album comes out Friday. Kanye album come out Friday. Dave East has put an album out. It's actually pretty good. Him and the dude Harry Fraud on that. What else has been out? Trying to see what else. I mean, not really. Oh, Billie Eilish put an album out, I think. She's real. I mean, can we even say that word around here? Abdul will get us in trouble.
Yeah, I think
Alle-
I'm good now.
allegedly-
I think-
allegedly.
I think I'm good.
Allegedly.
Shout out to Billie Eilish.
Yeah, shout out to Billie Eilish. And oh, it's a dude by the name of Isaiah Rashad. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar
Yeah,
with
of
him.
course. He's
He put
kind of
an
sick,
album
man.
out. His
He's
album's
with
dope.
TDE, right?
Yeah, his album's very, very dope. It's very Kendrick.
Yeah.
Very Kendrick.
Yeah.
But his new album is called The House is Burning. Super dope. Give that a listen while while you can. Episode 125, What's a Podcast? It has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, the locks reign supreme.
100.
Shout out to E the Chef for his clothing gear. We're gonna review that next week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Silent Tom. Happy birthday, Eddie. We're gonna double check on Eddie Wong too. We'll get an update to make sure he's alive by the time our next recording. And it's been great, man. Shout out to my man. Always available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddy.
Peace, yo.
Don't charge Abdul.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a much better drop.
we
This
need
is-
a better drop.
This is Jerome Bacon III, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.